I started her off in,
You did.
started her off in
did.
newspapers, so I did.
Against his better judgment.
Now you've held my clothes before, haven't you?
Yes.
So I'll just keep asking my clothes. But I remember the first week she started, she came in and said, I've just taken a phone call.
Oh no.
I said, who is it? She says, it's the woman whose house burnt down. And I says, what about it? She says, she's still fuming. Remember that? But I had the great pleasure of going to Calgary and doing burns. And there was 500 people, in fact it was all guys to be quite honest, and there was an oil club in Calgary. And they had a great tradition at the end, the top table. And the top table stretched for miles. But the tradition was that people at the top table had to sing a Burns song. Now, I did a few bevies by that time, and all the Burns songs that I knew had been sung. And it came to, this is a true story, and it came to me, and I stood up and I went, the Northern Lights of old Aberdeen. I mean, I probably thought it was Burns at the time, but there was this wee guy who was making his way down the hall, and I'm going, the Northern Lights of old Aberdeen, and he got closer and closer. The Northern Lights of old Aberdeen, and he came and he stopped, and the tears were running down his cheeks. And I says, are you from Aberdeen? He says, no, I'm a music teacher. So I don't sing, but I do this wee Burns thing. And West Kilbride, they've got a Burns club here, of course in Ayrshire, Burns clubs everywhere. And I've done the Burns club in Seamill Hydro a few times. And I usually come down the back roads here, and there's a wee farm. And round about Burns time, they've got a sign outside, and it says, homemade haggis, you'll never get better. I've never tried it myself. My best Burns joke for last year, I have to tell you, it was round about this area where it was a beautiful day like today. It was actually up in Largs, and there's in the Kelburn Centre, you know, the wee burns come down. And this English tourist, the hot day, and he's down there, and he's getting the water. And the big Ayrshire farmer comes along, and he says, don't drink in there, the coos have peed. And the tourist girl said, excuse me, I'm English. Unless you speak slowly, I won't understand what you're saying. And the big farmer says, I was just saying, use both hands. Now, Tam O'Shanter, one of the great, if not the greatest, Scottish poems. And of course, people ask, who was Tam O'Shanter? And the truth was, he was a guy called Douglas Graham, and he was the farmer at Shanter, which is down near Turnberry. And this guy Douglas, and we'll call him Tam from now on in, because that's what Rab christened him. And they would meet in the market days at Ayr, and you know, they would stay in the pub far too long. Some of you women will recognise that with your men. But at that time you couldn't get a taxi, so you had to jump on your horse and come down the road. And this is what happened, and Tam got home down to Shanter, and he was making a hell of a racket, and his wife was upstairs, and I don't know if you'll have experience of this, but you shout down, what are you doing?
Yes.
And Tam says, I'm trying to get a barrel of beer up the stairs. And she says, you daft bugger, leave it where it is. He says, I can't, I've drank it. And that was the story that prompted Rab to write Tam O'Shanter. Now, I haven't done this for a long a long while, but if I miss out a few stanzas, don't worry about it. And don't ask me to go back. Tam O'Shanter. When Chapman bullies leave the street and Ruthie neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late and folk begin to tat the gate, as we sit boozing and happy, getting foo, and unca happy. We think that the landscape smiles, the mosses, waters, slaps and stills that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brews like a gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. Well, this truth-fund, honest Tam O'Shanter, is he for air nicht did canter, all day from the town passes, for parking tickets and disabled passes. All day from the town passes, for honest men and bonny lasses. Oh Tam, had thou been wise in taking thy wife Kate's advice, she told her wheel, thou was a scalum, a blethern, blustering, drunken blethern, that frae November to October, ye market day thou wasn't sober. And in the Lord's house, evening Sunday, he sat with Captain Jean till Monday, and she prophesied that later soon thou will be found deep drowned in Doon, or cats with warlocks in the muck, by Alloway's old haunted kirk. A gentle dames that gas me greet, to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthy sage advices the husband for the wife despises. But to our tale, ye market nicht, Tam had get planted, uncorrect, fast by an ingle, bleezing finely, with him in smacks that drank divinely. Aye, they drank divinely. And his elbow, Sir Johnny, his ancient, truthy, drusty crony, Tam loved him like a very brother. They'd been pished for weeks together. Well, the night drave on with sands and clatter, and the ale was getting better. I love this poem, by the way. The landlady in Tam grew gracious, with favours secret, sweet and precious, and the suitor told his queerest story. He told the man about the teacher, right? And the teacher was teaching the kids how to do poetry. They were quite wee. And the first boy goes up and says, "Hello, my name is Dan. When I grow up to be a man, I want to visit China and Japan." That wasn't bad, he was only about 10. And the wee lassie stood up, she said, "Hello, my name is Sadie Brady. When I grow up to be a lady, I want to have a baby." And there's always a wee, I don't know if there's teachers here, but there's always a wee boy in class and you don't want him to speak. But he put his hand up and said, "All right, on you go." He says, "My name isn't Dan. To hell with China and Japan. But if Sadie Brady wants a baby, I'm your man." So, the suitor told his queerest story. The landlord's laugh was ridiculous. Care mad to see a man so happy, drowned hell among the nappy. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious. Oh, the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like poppy spread, you seize the flower, the bloom is shed, or like the snow falls in the river, a moment white, then melts forever, or like the borealis race, that flit, and you can point the place, or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing among the storm. Nae man can tell their time nor tide, the hour approaches, Tam won't ride. We're mounted on his grey mare Meg, where are you? We're mounted on his grey mare Meg. I better never lift the leg. Tam stealth on through Dublin mire, despising wind and rain and fire. Well, as hot and fast as good broom bonnet, whilst crooning all there, some older Scots is sunny. While glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares, Callaway was drawing nigh, where ghasts and hullets, toot-toot, nightly cry. Before him doon pours all the floods, the doubling storm roars in the woods, lightnings crash from pole to pole, near and more near the thunders roll, with glorying through the glimmering trees, Callaway seemed in a breeze. Through Capore, the beams were dancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Could you cut on my horse for me, please? So, there were these three lasses, they were sisters, the air, and they went to the dancing, and they were asked out with these guys, and they said, well, our father's a great fan of Robert Burns, so you have to come to the house and ask in rhyme. So the first guy turns up and says, hello, my name is Joe, I want to know, can I go with Flo? Well, it rhymed. The second guy was English. He says, hello, now my name is Lance. Is there any chance I can take Eileen to the dance? He was English, but it rhymed. So on you go. Third guy turned up. He says, hello, my name is Tucker. She's no good out. Stop. Inspiring, bold, John Barleycorn. What dangers thou can make us scorn. With jeopardy. We fear me evil. Wooskabee. We'll face the devil. Well, the swat say ram in Tammy's no-no. Fair play, he canna deals a bodo. But Maggie stood, Maggie stood, right there astonished, until by the healing hand admonished, she ventured forward in the licht, and while she saw an uncasig, warlocks and witches in a dance, naked Ian bred new from France, with hornpipes, sticks to spades and reels, put life and metal in their heels. Ah, on the horse would you? A winnock bunker in the east. There sat old Nick, in shape of beast. A towsy type, black grim and large. To hear the music was his charge. Well, they screwed the pipes and they kept them still, till roof and rafters all did dill. Coffins stood round with open presses that showed the dead in their last dresses. It was a meeting of Holyrood. By some cantric slacht, each in his cold hand held a licht, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the holy table a murderer's banes and gibbet ends, twa and spun me and kissing bairns, a thief, new cutted for the rope, with last gasp his gapted gope. 5 tomahawks with blood red rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son of life bereft, and the grey hairs writ, stacked to the cleft, and mair, horrible and awful, which even to name would be unlawful. And how Tam glowered, amazed and curious, as the mirth and fun grew fast and furious, the piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quicker flew, because to kill the set the cricket, till Cochrane slack leak it, and she cussed her duddies to the whack, and linked at it in a sack. The sack was a miniskirt. They were very much in vogue in the 19th century, and indeed the 18th century. Tam, had in Queens, all plump and strapping in their teens. Their sacks is cedar cushy flannin, snow white 1700 linen. These breeks of mine, my only pair, that once were plush with good blue hair. I'd a geen off my hurdies for a blink of yon bonny birdies. But they were rather bald ones, They were all droll. The goody hags was speaking of all. They were limping and flinging on their stomach. So one of them didn't turn your stomach. But Tam came what was what for Brawley. There was the winsome wench and Molly. That night enlisted in the corps. Lang after came the carrot shore. For mony a beast the dead she shot. And perished mony a bonny boat. And shook both meikle corn and beer. Aye, beer. I thought I never get to this point. It kept the countryside in fear. Ah, little kenned thy reverend granny, that sack she coughed for her wee nanny, with 12 pud Scots was all her riches, would ever grace a dance of witches. But here my muse her ring one cower, 6 flights afar beyond the power, to tell her nanny, lap and flang.
Whoa.
You know you're getting old when your back is out more often than you do. A simple teacher was enshrined, and how Tam stood, as if bewitched. He thought his very Eden rich. Even Satan glowered, remember him? Even Satan glowered and fished through fame, and host and bloom and micht and main, till first you caper, sign another. Tam tint his reason, all together, and he roars out, "Well done, Kitty Sark!" And in an instant, all was dark. And scarcely had the Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees were out with angry fight, when plundered hares assailed the bike. As open boosted mortal foes, when Popsy starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd. Aye, we're nearly there. As eager runs the market crowd, when cats the sea resound aloud. So Maggie runs, the witches follow, when moan in Elgin screeching hollow. Oh Tam, you'll get thy fame. At Ibrox will roast you like hern. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming. Kate soon will be one woeful woman. But do thy speed the utmost beg, bake the keystone of the brig. There at them now, thy tail may toss, a running stream the den across. But ere the keystone she could make, the fiend her tail shall to shake. For Nanny the witch, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and she flew at Tam with furious ettle. But scarcely was she Maggie's mettle, a spring brought off her master hail, and left behind her in grey tail, for the carlin clawed her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, what this tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother's son tak heed, when empty, drinking, ye are inclined, or the cutty sarks run in your mind. Just think, you may buy the joys no dear. Remember, Tam O'Shanter's. Remember, Tam O'Shanter's mare. End of the tale. It's a perfect poem for a castle, I assure you. I forgot to put my glasses on. Aye. That's right. Thank you very much. Now must be time for the speeches.
Right, come on,
Does that come later? Speeches come later.